Good morning everyone and welcome back to Craft Eccentricity. To prevent this from being too lengthy a video today, I'm just going to go straight in with my surprise creation design team show and measure, I'm going to call it. So I'm going to show you the dies and I'm going to measure them. So here goes. First one is a broderie anglaise circle die with a love label tag in the center of it. Surprise creation dies are known for making large dies. These ones I think are pretty average in size compared to their others, but this one measures 4¾ inches on its largest, and the tag in the center there is 1½ inches. So that is the first one. The second one is an in out, which means it will leave a stitch on the aperture as well as on the piece that cuts out. These are dies that I use very often because I just love the finish. And if you look at the sizes here, for example, these two, take that one away, you've got a great shaker card frame. And the size on this one is, let me see that, 5¼ inches. Now, one of the things you have to bear in mind with the surprise creation dies is you will need to measure the opening of your die cutting machine. I'm lucky I have a 12-inch opening on mine. I have a Sizzix Big Shot Pro, and so if you have that machine you can pretty much use any die that's on the market. But if you are going to buy the larger dies and you want to use the largest die in the set, you will need to measure the mouth opening of your die cut machine, and of course it's also useful to measure the width of your cutting mats, because if it goes through the opening of the machine but your cutting mat isn't wide enough, it's still not going to work for you. So my next set, these are absolutely gorgeous. These are deckle edge rectangles. I'll put them down there so that you can see the full size of them. I'm going to put my hand on there. These are huge. These are beautiful book mini album making dies. They are great for making photo albums, scrapbook pages, recipe books. Larger ones can be cut and folded in half to make a folded card. They can be used in photo frames for matting your photographs. They are just an absolutely beautiful size. So I'm going to measure these, and you may be a little bit shocked because they are a fraction over 7 inches wide, and the length there is just a fraction over 8 inches. So 7 by 8, you need to measure your machine, as I say, if you're going to buy these, to make sure that they go through. Now on Surprise Creation website, they are doing a special offer where you can buy this set of 4 dies, and money wise it works out that if you buy 3 you're getting the 4th set free. So 3 and the 4th one free. And these ones are the matching ovals. Once again, absolutely gorgeous. Cut one, fold it in half. You've got a beautiful rocker card. Just absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous. I don't think there is any other seller on AliExpress that does frame dies in this size. And here we go again, and we are a fraction over 6¾ wide on the oval and 8 inches on the length of it. Of course the length never matters. As long as your cutting mats are long enough, the length will never matter on your die, but it's the width. So the smallest you can get on the oval here for your width is 6¾ inches. So if you buy that, make sure the mouth of your machine is 6 3/4 inches. Now the circle dies, and these are 7 1/4 inches in diameter. They are just absolutely glorious. Imagine taking the rectangle and the circle and making a huge snow globe shaker. Something to hang on the door, in the middle of a wreath, on the wall. These are just glorious. What can I say? The square is 7 1/4 inches. So once again, if you buy the square, make sure 7 1/4 inches will go through the mouth of your machine, and that your cutting mat is as wide as that. Right, so that is the frame deckle edge, and now I'm going to move a few things and grab another pile from another bag, and I'm going to show you these. Right, these are normal size, and this is a set of poinsettia dies, and the largest one in this set is an inch, a little bit over an inch, and you get 2 of them so that you can cut 2 at a time, which is great, time saving. And everybody loves poinsettia, great for Christmas. Cut in red or cut in white, or even cut it in pink. I like pink at Christmas. So that is that one. I received another flower set, again 2 in the set, very time saving. This is a lovely shape, and across there is, let me get that straight, 1 3/4 inches. And then I have a very pretty garden fence gate, and I do use these a lot. They're great for making those 3-dimensional cards where you can dome the gate out, or a trifold cards where you can fold the gate around it. And this one is a very nice size. It is just over 6 1/4 inches cut line to cut line, and on the width there we have 1 1/2 inches high. So these are basically standard size dies that will go through your machine. This one here, in out again, decorating the aperture as well as the die that cuts the paper that cuts out. This style of die is absolutely perfect for cutting and folding in half. It's just really, really pretty. And the width of that, because they're basically the same, is 5 inches. I'm going to clear my throat in between times. This one, I believe, is a Nicole design, and this is a little camera. And this one is, if I can take it to the edge there, is 1 3/4 inches. I am going to be making all sorts of stuff with these over the next couple of weeks, so if you need to see them made up, just keep checking back to my channel. A gorgeous set of butterflies. You get the outer and you get the inner, so of course great for shakers and great for layering up on cards. And the largest one there is 3 inches, and I would say this one is the smallest one, and that one's also 3 inches. So it's just looking smaller because of this portion. So these are 3-inch butterflies. My next one, I believe, is also a Nicole design, and this is a sort of Cinderella fairy tale carriage. It's got the separate curtains and the separate wheels for layering up, and the door. And I will be making this one, and I'll probably turn it into a little photograph album. So that is absolutely gorgeous, and I will measure that for you. And the width of it is 5 inches, and the height with the flag on the top, 5 inches. So that's 5 inches by 5 inches, and that's the sort of Princess Cinderella coach there. Right, I'm going to go into some more smaller dies, and I just need to get them all out of the package here. We've got a very pretty butterfly frame. These butterflies all pop up when cut, and as I said, I am going to start using these, so you will see them. And that one is 4 inches. I have the heart-shaped one here, and that one is 4 inches. I have the flower-shaped one, and that one is 4 inches. I have a sort of vintage label style die here, which is a great card topper or great for turning into tags. And the length of that one there, cut line to cut line, is 4.5 inches, and cut line to cut line is just over 3.5 inches. So I'm sorting through things here. I have another 2 sets of butterflies. I can imagine this one is quite popular. That's a very traditional shape for a butterfly, but those are extremely pretty. And on this set, the largest one is 3 inches, and on this set, the largest one is 3 inches. We have a little Valentine's Day love heart with an arrow here. I'm not sure if this is a Nicole design. I'm sure somebody will tell me if it is. And the word die, which is lovely, is 2.5 inches. The height of the stem there for the arrow is just under 3 inches. More words here: celebrate and XOXO with a star, and that is 3 inches. Another style of label die, and this one measures cut line to cut line 4.75 inches, and cut line to cut line 3.75 inches. We have decorative labels and almost matching corners, so that is really pretty. Great with a sentiment on and layered up, or even cut in foam and turned into a tag. And that one is 4.25 inches, and the largest of these I'll say is this one, and that is 2 inches at its widest point. The next die is a nice little kitty cat, and he's got a ball of wool, and the width of that one is just over 2.5 inches, and he stands 2.5 inches, he or she. Another little flower set here, and the largest one is 1.5 inches. Yeah, 1.5 inches. We've got a thanks here with a little fish and a scroll, and that one measures 3 inches. And I have lots of other words here. These two look similar in height, so I'll measure these. This one is congrats, and that is 3/4 inch at its tallest point, and 3.25 inches across. That one is just over 3.25 inches and 3/4 inch high. Another little kitty cat, and that one measures 2 inches and 2 inches. And then I have hello and smile, and let me get this one, and happy and joy, and I'm trying to read backwards. That one says surprise. I'm not very good at reading backwards. So that one is 2.75 inches. That one, the largest, is 2.5 inches, and that one is 2.5 inches, and this one is 2.25 inches just over. I also got in that package 2 little mushrooms. I think this is really, really sweet, and I can't wait to make something with this. So let's measure that. And the mushroom itself, the largest one, is 2¼ inches and 1¾ inches. My pile is getting closer and closer to the camera. I do apologise. Little birds here measuring, ooh, almost 1¾ inches, and then the wing size for that one is almost 1¾ inches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this pile of dies out of the way so that I can show you the rest. I've already done those, so I'll move those. Move my bag and bring in the next batch. And I'm pretty sure that this is a Nicole design, and this is a lovely kitchen set. You've got the cheese grater, you've got the strainer, you've got a cooking pot and a colander and a spatula. It's really, really lovely. This is great, of course, for anybody that cooks, or for making little tags for recipe jars, if you like to do your own canning jars of barbecue spice and things like that. And of course, great for making little mini albums that have got your recipes in. So I will do a measure on what I think is the largest piece, and I think on width it would be the grater, which is 1¼ inches, and then on height it's going to be the spatula, which is just over 2½ inches. So that is a really, really lovely set. I really do like that. I could even make my own little fridge magnets using that, so that would be fun. And then I believe this one is also Nicole Designs, and this is that lace, or what I call broderie anglaise lace set, where you've got circles that come with a heart, and then there is a label set that matches. There are sentiment strips and edges, and there are photo corners. Now I've actually used this set, so what I'm going to do is measure the largest circle for you. Turn my ruler the correct way around, and that is just over 4½ inches. It's almost 4¾ In fact, I'd be safe to say that it is 4¾ The largest label there, the width is 2¾ and 3¾ and the sentiment and edge strips are 6 inches, and the largest corner going from angle to angle there is 3¼ inches. So that's that large broderie anglaise collection. I believe the corners and the sentiment strips, etc., these all come as separate sets, and the little label die there, which has the inner as well, so that you can cut and layer up. They all come separately. Right, now I need to move those out of the way and open another bag, and I believe these are the new Christmas releases. So let's get these out, and then I will measure them for you. These are the Christmas deer sets, which of course can be all laid up and layered diorama style. Aren't they lovely? See, you've got differences in the trees there and the deers, so that they can be just popped behind each other to create a diorama. There is separate snowflakes there, and of course, you know me, I just absolutely love gingerbread men. So I'm going to measure the largest tree in that set, and that is 4½ inches. That one is 2 inches, No, I beg your pardon, it's not. It's 2 3/4 inches. I need to measure the trees, and that one is 2.5 inches. So if you've got all those layered up running backwards in a diorama card, they're just going to look fabulous. And then the width of that one is 5.5. That one is also 5.5. And this one here, I've got to go from the deer horns, I think, is 4.5 inches. But that little gingerbread man can be used on tags and everything, so I have to measure him, and he is 1.5 inches high. But that is a really, really lovely Christmas set. My next one, I think these are designed by someone called Joe. I think they name them as on the website. And these are, put my hand on them, very large Christmas stars. These are absolutely gorgeous. I mean, you can cut in glitter or foil. You've got the back piece there. If I take that off, so that you've got the backer to put the fancy one onto, so glitters and foils or any cardstock that you want to, and they are just really, really pretty. So I'm going to measure one for you because they're both the same size, and if I go in at an angle here, that is just over 4.25 inches and 4.5 inches. So those are a lovely size star, and I will probably use those tomorrow. Right, my next one is, I believe this word says dreams. I'm trying to read backwards again. It does. It's a kind of a play on a dream catcher. So you've got sort of like a dream catcher effect in the D, and then you've got all the feathers scrolling off it there. And that is really, really pretty. So let's measure that one, and I apologize if I'm losing my voice. That's 5 inches across, and then take it to its highest point there is 4 inches down. So that would be absolutely gorgeous, just cut in plain cardstock and then in gold foil, and to watercolor the bits in between, and then pop it into a frame with a little dream catcher at its side for a little piece of home decor. That is really lovely. Right, my next one, perfect for good luck and perfect for weddings. This is a great horseshoe, and it's got the little hearts in it there, and it's a beautiful size. So let's measure that, and that is 4.5 inches by, let's get the widest point there, almost 4.5 inches. So that's a really lovely one. All that cut up in whites and silvers and things, and a big bow, and you could tie that to the back of someone's car with a load of sprayed up cans. Spray the cans in white or silver to make it look glamorous. That would look lovely. So that's the horseshoe. The next set is a heart frame set, and of course always good for Valentine's Day. And you get the smaller heart in the middle, which just reads love, 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 love. That's what that says there. So let's get a close-up, and that's what that heart says. So I will measure the largest one, and that is a fraction over 5.5 inches by, a fraction over 5.5 inches. So another lovely size. It is a full card size, that one is, and then all the other layers to go on top. My next one is a set of wings, and these would look absolutely gorgeous, all cut and done vintage with glitter, and just hanging from your Christmas tree. They are so pretty. Look at that. Look at the details. Gorgeous. So let's do that. All of them together on the card there are 4 3/4 inches. and the individual length of a wing is just over 3 inches. But those are so pretty. They look lovely behind your character dies as well if you want to give those angel wings. And of course they'd make really lovely tags, very pretty tags. So that is that one. And then I get into fairy tale land, and we have a fairy tale castle. This would also make a great sand castle if you've got some sand coloured embossing powder or something like that. So that would make a great sand castle. You've got a fairy star wand here, and a shooting star, and a little fairy there, and there's another one there who's doing a little elegant pose, and you have a unicorn, glamorous unicorn. I really like that one. Right, measurement on the castle is 3 inches by 3¼ inches, and the unicorn there is, oops, it's got a curve in it, so I want to measure it right, is 3 inches, and let's make sure that's in the right place, 2¼ inches. So those are the large dies, and then I have a few words here. One is Merry Christmas, one is all is calm, all is bright, which is a lovely sentiment. Let it snow, and I think that one is thinking of you. Oh no, thank you. Yes, as I say, I don't read backwards, but I will measure. The thank you is 3 inches by 3½ inches. The let it snow is 2¼ inches by 3¼ inches. All is calm, all is bright. This would be perfect just placed on top of a pretty patterned card. You wouldn't really need to do much else. That's 3 inches by 3¼ inches. And this Merry Christmas, which I think is rather large for a sentiment die, which is nice. And that is almost 4¾ inches by 2¼ inches. So that is my design team show and measure for you, and I will be using those over the next couple of weeks. Here is a sample that I made using the kitchen set. I used silver foil to cut out the colander, the pot, the strainer, the spatula, and for the grater there I used the photo corners to hold some beige pearlized cardstock to give it a contrast, and I used my favourite picnic papers, which I absolutely love. So that is what I did for my sample. Of course, this is a great card for somebody who loves cooking, but it's also the great foundation for a recipe mini album because of the size. And the die size that I chose to use on that one in that deckle set is 5¾ inches. So that is how big that is. So I thank you very much for joining me today, and for staying as long as you did if you stayed to video end. You have a fabulous day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.